Hey everybody, it's Steve with Real Progressives. Quick 2-minute drill on what you need to know about modern monetary theory. The Federal Reserve is a part of the U.S. government. It is independent within the government. The Federal Reserve controls monetary policy. The Federal Reserve is not the one that pays our bills. It's not the one that goes out there and spends on the 99%. The Federal Reserve controls interest rates, interbanking dollars, etc. Congress is the one that controls the purse strings. Congress writes a bill. Congress sends instructions to the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve makes said funds open and available, and those funds are then sent to the Treasury and then spent into existence. Federal Reserve is not the one sitting there running around spending all this money on all these different people. Federal Reserve is simply controlling interest rates, and they do some stuff back and forth between the banks to enable lending. Okay? So, as far as debt goes, we are not in debt to China. We do not owe China a bunch of dollars so we could keep our lives running. China has treasury bonds at the Federal Reserve. They're like savings accounts at the Federal Reserve. It's not debt. We didn't go, oh my God, we need to get the Chinese to buy some more treasury bonds to fund our government. That's not how it works. China decides they want to go ahead and cash in all their treasuries, however that works. It's a keystroke. They get US dollars, nothing more. Their account is no longer active in that particular sense. All the people that talk about trillions of dollars of debt, liars. Every last one of them, liar. Every one of them, liar. They're a liar, they're a liar, they're a liar. So, when you sit there and worry about the stuff about devaluing money, we're not devaluing money. The devaluation idea of money came from the idea that there was a finite pool of wealth, which was tied to the gold standard. Gold standard is a small little pie of gold. When we slice more money out of it, we devalue the current dollar. In this case, we're not pegged. The U.S. government has a free-floating, sovereign fiat currency. In other words, it's non-convertible either. You can't go into somewhere and say, I want to change my dollars to gold. And you can't pay your taxes in gold. You can only pay your taxes in U.S. dollars. U.S. dollars being taxed in their own currency are what gives our dollar its value. So this right here is one of those quick down and dirty things. Stop worrying about the debt. There is no debt. Not like we know it. Not like you and I know it. Debt denominated in our own currency, if we pay interest on the debt, that's our own sovereign currency being spent to expand the economy. It goes to the wealthy ones, I'm not going to lie about that, but then again, so does all that stuff. Okay? So don't make it more than what it is. We don't pay debt like that with a sovereign currency. Debt denominated in our own currency is not debt at all. So there is no government credit card. Scratch that off your list. We don't have to go borrow from anywhere else. That's not how it works. We're the currency issuers. In other words, we are where the dollar starts. There is no other place where the dollar starts. The dollar starts with the U.S. federal government. The Federal Reserve is independent within the government. It's the biggest lie, and it's been misstated forever by the Paul Bots and the Austrians and all the other people and the Fed. We could put it in the Treasury. We could put it wherever we want. It doesn't matter. The function of the Fed is a must-have function. Now, if that isn't enough for you, come back. Later on tonight, I will give a deeper dive. But this is for the short, quick, down and dirty. Bottom line, we can spend money. We should not be worried about budgets. We should be worried about inflation. So in other words, we should have an inflation budget, not a budget. The minute that we hit inflation, we have to ask how much inflation we want. And then we slow spending down, or we raise taxes up. But there is no hyperinflation. What about Zimbabwe, Argentina? We're not like them in any way. Guess what? We're not like Greece either. But I'll get to that later. In other words, this was probably a little longer than 2 minutes, but I did my best to keep it short and sweet. I hope it was good. I hope it was worth it. Share it all over the place. Make sure people get angry. Say, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Send them to me. Send them on to me. I'm ready. Have a great day, everybody. Steve with progressives, hoping you learned something today.